Perhaps the craziest thing we learned today, the man now slapped with a number of federal charges, including sex trafficking and drug dealing, called Detroit police, called them himself in February of last year. A source with DPD telling me Quiyamabe Summerlin claimed he woke up to a homeless woman performing sex acts, but federal documents, however, suggest the truth is likely much more sinister than that. Quiyamabe Summerlin has gone by a number of aliases. DeJohn Denson, Edward Bennett, and we found him on the Michigan Sex Offender Registry, where he's listed as a convicted sex offender. Summerlin can now also be called alleged sex trafficker and alleged drug dealer. A neighbor said sometimes the Johns would accidentally come to her house looking for his.
I did chase a guy. He ended up at the end of the block. By the time I got here, she said he had on a shirt that had security on the back. So I followed him down the street. I approached him on Kingsville. He seemed like he was more scared of me than I was of him because I was raging at that point. So I'm thinking, dude, you were in my house.
Federal court documents show at least 10 women were forced to have sex against their will with Johns, and in some cases with Summerlin, made to give him the money they made. Much of this happening in the basement of an East Side home. Documents show he shared with his cousin. That's also where the feds found furniture that matched commercial sex photos posted online, a shotgun, cocaine, fentanyl, and drug paraphernalia.
It's troubling to know that there's at least my girls on the street and so close proximity.
The more you read about a man one victim labeled a violent pimp, sometimes called Black or Q, the more disturbing things become. Summerlin is accused of often feeding women drugs, loading his gun in front of them as a form of coercion and locking them in the basement. One victim said when she tried to leave, he pushed her back down. Another victim says Summerlin set a daily quota of $1,000 for her. If the quota wasn't met, he threatened her with violence or withhold drugs. She said he'd walk around with a gun on his waist and leg and listen to women with a hidden baby monitor. It's terrible.
It is terrible, and I hope those young ladies get help. Whoever was affected, I really hope that there's some good resources out there for them, because that's tragic. For whatever pretense he got them in there, for whatever reason they stayed.
As you might imagine, Summerlin is facing several charges: sex trafficking using force, fraud, and coercion, drug dealing, and felon in possession of a firearm. He was previously convicted of receiving or concealing stolen property and third-degree criminal sexual conduct. The neighborhood reeling after learning the lurid details, already shocked by the discovery of 2 decomposed bodies in a home next to where Summerlin was allegedly victimizing women.
It's quiet over here. It's really quiet. So imagine the hoopla when they died, and then now this. We're all like in shock because you never would have guessed that it was so close.
And we should note the 2 bodies were found in July, and there's no indication at this point that discovery is linked to Summerlin's case. We have asked the ME and police about it. While all the victims from this recent bust referenced in the court documents were adults, they did tell federal investigators that Summerlin also victimized minors. Now, if you are a victim or know anything about this case, please reach out to the FBI.
Hillary, this is absolutely horrifying. How did police make the bust? Did they use undercover agents?
Yeah, that was in fact a big part of their investigation. In 2 incidents detailed in that criminal complaint, we can see that undercover agents did interact with someone who they believed to be Summerlin, including text messages. And I think this is a great opportunity for us, Huel, to again emphasize, if you know anything about this case, think of the victims. Reach out to the FBI immediately. Huel?
It's frightening to think what may be going on right next door.
Yeah.
Thank you, Hillary.